Yeah, some numbers. All right. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about decimal places. We're going to talk about what they really mean. You guys got one of these in your packets. That's right, packets, Mr. B. You got it. We're going to talk about rounding decimals, right? Rounding decimals to the nearest place, okay? It's just like rounding regular place value stuff, numbers, only with decimals. Now, the thing that you have to understand, be able to do this, is you have to know the decimal place names, or you're just going to be completely lost, all right? Now, remember yesterday we talked about the decimal point, where it's at, right? We got the decimal point here, and we've got a ones place. Now, you guys probably remember ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, right? You can do it that way, but when we go the decimal way, we get thrown off. And usually the reason kids get thrown off is the ones place. The ones place messes them up. Because when we go this way, we have a ones place. Ones, tens, hundreds. When we go the decimal way, we skip the tens place. Or the ones place. Sorry, we skip the ones. There's only one ones place. Everything on this side will be ends with THS. Right? But it's exactly the same as this side over here. So we only have one ones place. As soon as the decimal hits, we go to tenths. Then we go to hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Only this way. It's the same as this. It's just on the other side, and it has THS after it. So if I look at this, here's my ones place, and that's the only one we got, right? Let's see. Let me go here. Can I change my color here? I wonder. No, I can't. Thank you for all your help. All right. I wonder if I can do it here. Let's see. No. Got it. Anyways, so if we got tens, that goes with this. Tenths, hundreds, hundredths, thousands, thousandths. See how it's exactly the same. This, we got our ones. That's the only ones. We've got our decimal place right here. And then we just start with this. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000s, and so on. It's the same exact thing. Now, if you know that, you should be able to round to the nearest, what have you, right? The nearest place. So let's pull this up. Let's go to our whiteboard here. And we're going to round to the nearest whatever. Let's say we've got this number here. Well, I don't like that. Let's say we've got this number. Let's go with purple. Let's say we've got 326. Then we have our decimal. And then we've got this number. Okay? Now we have to figure out how do we say this number first. Okay? So here's my decimal place right here. And this is my ones. We're only going to have one ones place, right? There was only one of those. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. Let's go here. This is my ones. Right? There's only going to be one of those. Oh no, one arrow. Let's go green here. Then I've got what? Tens. This is tenths. Then I've got hundreds. This is hundredths. Right? My next place would be thousands, right? Ones, tens, hundred, thousands. This is thousandths. Okay? So you would read this 326 and 124 thousandths. That's what that number is. Now, you round just exactly like you would round any other number, but you're rounding to those decimal places instead. So if we were asked to round to the tenths, right, we would be rounding to this number here, right? Let's change one of these. Let's make this a 9. Now I'm going to pick back to that purple one. Can we do that? Nope. I think it was here. All right. So if we're asked to round to tenths, right, we're going to take a look at the tenths place. But to figure out what we need to do, because remember, when we round, we either add one more or it stays the same, right? Raise the score or let it rest, whatever it is, all right? So we're going to go to the hundredths place. And we're going to ask this hundredths, are you 5 or more or 4 or less? 2 is 4 or less. So we let it rest. What do we let rest? We let the tenths place rest. We're rounding to the tenths, right? So we have to go one step over to do that, right? So the answer to that would be 326 and 1/10. That would be rounded to the nearest tenth. But let's say we were asked to round to the nearest hundredth. Okay? Let's go here. Let's go green. Go there. Let's go. All right. Let's say we were asked to round to the nearest hundredth. All right. So we've got to find the hundredths place. Remember, here's our decimal. Here's our ones. That's the only one we got. We're going to show ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. We need to find this hundredths place, right? Find the hundredths place. This is the one that's going to stay the same, or we're going to add one more, right? That one. But we figure it out by going to the next one over, because we're rounding. We're going to ask this one, are you 5 or more, or 4 or less? 9 is 5 or more. We're going to add one more. Add one more to what? To the hundredths place. We're going to add one more to the hundredths place. So the answer to this one would be 326 and 13 hundredths. Because we had to add one more because we were rounding to the hundredths place. Now, you guys all have a big rounding sheet that was in your packet. It looks like this. If you don't have one, let me know. I will get you one, okay? It's got rounding to the nearest gabillions, right? And there's tons and tons in here. Hundredths place, it goes up thousands place. They're all in here. I want you to practice on some. You don't have to do them all. Do some, all right? We'll take a look at them tomorrow. This is B. Peace.